Hello, I would like to invite everybody today to our October Learning Lunch Collaborative with the Rural Community Health Worker Network. I am Rebecca Albaugh, the creator of Opportunities, and I thank everybody for joining today. I will get some of RCHWN's business out of the way. Reminders and updates. Our CHW store is live. We're always looking for suggestions on merchandise. We are doing a social media design contest where you can design a new logo, a new design of some sort. I know there have been a couple posted up there. They will be voted on, and whoever wins that design will be able to have the first product of their choice made out of it. We have our annual conference and retreat. As some of you know, it is our 6th annual Making Connections Conference and Retreat is going to be held this year on April 13th through the 15th with a great partner. Mobile Health Department is a partner with us on that. So we are going to be in Gulf Shores, Alabama. We have some exciting speakers going to be taking part in that. We have some great activities. It's going to be a wonderful event to build some great networking prospects, as well as to learn to rest, relax, and rejuvenate from your day-to-day. Our 2021 membership campaign is open. As always, we have a refer a colleague or a friend and get a surprise. Memberships are $25 for new members and renewals. And we are also looking for learning collaborative suggestions for 2023. If you have a suggestion of a topic or a speaker suggestion, if you are a member who is extremely skilled and has great things you can contribute to our network, we would love to invite you to be a presenter. It's very easy. You can send me an email, give me a bio on yourself, a topic description, and as a network, we'll vote and have everybody scheduled for 2023. I think that is about all I have to share right now. And without any further ado, I would like to introduce to you our CHW Go-Go Bag webinar being presented by Andrea Krotzer-Burton of Everyday Life Consulting. We all know her. We all love her. She is amazing.
Hey, I just have one thing. Can you update the group on, do we need sponsors? Are we still looking for other things? Anything we can help as far as the CHWs? I know that I'm on one of the committees and I've attended a couple of the meetings, but maybe Sheila or one of the other members on that committee would just give a brief update. I think that's necessary, just so we kind of know what we're looking at for Mobile. Like, do we need sponsors? What are we needing? What are we doing?
I can, if you guys want, I can update on that. We are in fact looking for sponsors. We would love for some sponsorships. We are happy to help. If you guys need to request sponsorship from your employer, we have a great sponsorship packet available on the website underneath the 2023 conference. We are working on a template that you all can use when approaching your employer about gaining sponsorship to get help with the price of the hotel rooms as well as the travel expenses for this event. Am I missing something? I feel like I'm missing something. We are still looking for people who would be interested, or if you have suggestions on speakers you would like to see for a roundtable event, for the roundtable meetings during the event. I feel like I'm forgetting something.
No, I think that pretty much covers it.
Okay, that's where we are.
Any ideas, any ideas that they have, and anybody that they know of that maybe possibly could they could promote and sponsor for us.
Yep.
And I'd also like to encourage some of the CHWs to step up and be speakers for the learning series, because CHWs really love to hear from CHWs. I mean, we know that CHWs typically have award-winning attitudes and personalities that we can actually share during our speaking engagements, that if we had, like when we had the dentist or the doctor about the dental care or whatever, I think she was a phenomenal speaker. But I think part for me that's attractive with coming together like this in this collaborative is the fun space, being able to have a little bit of fun and laugh and that kind of thing. Just like when, I know that I comfortably can say festivity in this space, because you know, it's a group. You're right. It's a group of CHWs, for CHWs, by CHWs, all things CHWs. So anyway, I just wanted to touch base and share that. So CHW Go-Go bag, not to be confused with Go-Go boots, okay, but it's a Go-Go bag. And the reason why I thought of the title Go-Go bag was off of Inspector Gadget. Go, go, gadget, go, right? CHWs are constantly going. And even when we were in our meeting the other day and we were talking in our conference meeting about travel and you know, you're there and you're jet setting. And I know for me personally, I've been flying all over the United States pretty much all summer, and there were some mistakes I made. I had to run from one gate to the next, and I don't know if you have seen me in person or know my ability as far as athleticism, but running from one gate to the next is not in my wheelhouse. I'll just say that. And I didn't have a go-go bag. I had a carry-on, but it wasn't really a go-go, like as far as a mobile bag. So that was one of the reasons why I thought of the topic as well. Next slide, please. So we have expanded our team here at Everyday Life, which is pretty exciting. So, of course, you know myself and Shannon. Kyle, I don't know if some of you know him or have met him yet, but he is our Director of Business Development. We also have Ashley Patajo, and she is the content strategist. We have Wendy Bailey, the consultant for an CHW. Elfrida is also a CHW as well as a consultant. We have Andrea Foster, who is one of our training consultants, as well as Sarah Kyle and Lenny Avery. And then we have Kevin Faust, who is a recovery service program coordinator in CHW. And then, of course, our lovely intern, Vanessa. And all of these folks are located all over the United States. Not all of them are from here in Michigan, with superb talent. Next slide, please. And of course, for technical support, please reach out anytime for any with comments or questions or issues or feedback to Rebecca at rchwn.org. She'd be happy to answer any and all of your questions. And of course, during this presentation, if you have any communication needs and would like to provide feedback or ask a question or leave a comment, please use your features up top of your screen, which is the chat feature, and also the raising hands, which is under the reaction tab. Next slide, please. So today's agenda is going to be welcome icebreaker. I already did our formal introduction, learning objectives, why a go-go or why a go bag, and go bag must-haves, in my personal opinion. And of course, this might vary for each of you, but it gives you a good idea. So I really want to do an icebreaker. We haven't done icebreakers, I don't think, in a couple of times, just because usually we have quite a bit of, and you guys can leave your response to the icebreaker in the chat and Rebecca can read them out loud for us. Or those of you who want to go and say them verbally, please raise your hand and we'll go ahead and call on you. But what is one of the foods you would never eat and why? Like, I will never eat raw fish. Never eat raw fish. I don't like raw things. And raw the I don't know that it's as much of flavor or texture. It's the idea in my brain that raw fish would make me very, very scared. Elazar.
Alizar?
Yeah.
I love raw fish. However, there are at least a few varieties of raw fish that I've seen on like cooking shows or like travel the world food shows that are poisonous. And if they're not prepared right, can potentially kill the person consuming the fish. I would never eat anything that came along with the risk of death. Just not worth it to me.
So what about like not gardener snake, but what about like snake or alligator? Would you
Oh,
eat those things?
absolutely. I would. I've eaten snake and alligator before.
Oh, Alizar. Liver. So some people are in the chat do you want to start? Do you want to read them first?
I can read them.
Yeah.
Sheila says an onion. They are nasty. Carrie Squire says anything out of the water phobia. Sheila says, or foods that are too spicy hot, can't handle that. Angel says sauerkraut. I have a funny story about sauerkraut. I try it every time my friend makes it. She's Hungarian, and I try it every time she makes it. And for the life and love of everything, I cannot like it. I try. It's a dead thing to me. Kaylee says mustard. I find it disgusting. Andrea says liver, because why would I eat anything that filters junk out of the body? Oh, do I hear you there, lady? Do I hear you there? Corrine says, sorry, pumpkin spice lovers, but I will not eat pumpkin. Can't stand the smell, let alone the taste. Ann Sanderson's, I never intend to eat collard greens again. Made me very sick during my second pregnancy, so sick I had to go on IV. Oh, that's so sad. Tara says, any animal organs. And Alzar says, beets from Allie. Is that all beets or just pickled beets? Or, I mean, they're all beets. Okay.
Oh my goodness. I'm looking at all of these things going, okay, so yeah, can't do the animal organs. Love Brussels sprouts, love beets. Yeah, I love pumpkin, won't eat liver. I don't mind mustard. I love sauerkraut. Spicy foods give me too much heartburn. Love onions. Onions are tasty when they're cooked. I mean, I wouldn't eat it raw. My brother eats them like apples, but did you see that Kelly? Oh, no, that was way before. Sorry, I'm going up way too far.
Katie says, I don't need to eat anything that has been listed except pumpkin. But parents should like anything but the pumpkin. Michelle says, I am Mexican, so there are only a few things I won't eat, but won't try ballot. Did I say that right?
Balut? What is
Balut.
that?
I don't know what that is. I'm curious. Michelle, what is balut?
It is, oh my gosh. It's basically chicken fetus. It's a Philippine,
Oh, that's where the egg, where you crack it and
yes,
the baby.
yes. I won't try that. No.
I won't try that either.
Yeah,
I
'cause
don't know. There is a dish that my friend's mother-in-law makes that is, I believe, a Mexican dish, but it's like soup made in like the stomach casing of something.
Yes, that's what
Okay,
I say. There's a few things we need.
I
We
will
eat
eat
blood,
that
we
if
eat
I
the
don't
stomach,
watch
all
you
that.
make it. You can't tell me how you made it. I can't know anything about that, but it is the most delicious soup stew I've ever ate. But when I know how you make it, oh my gosh, no, I can't eat it.
It's good. We eat eyes, we eat brains, we eat all kinds of things, but I think balut is out of the question for me.
Oh, and fun fact, I did have tripe, cow stomach, so that was an interesting food that I did have. So anyway, I don't want to take up too much more of our time with the icebreaker, but interesting. See, I love doing these really random ones like this because it helps me to just kind of learn a little bit more about people. So Rocky Mountain oysters, anyone? No oysters. That's fish, that or seafood. That's sea stuff. Ugh. Oh no, it isn't. It's right of the mountain goat or whatever.
Sheep testicles.
Yeah,
Or
testicle.
goat
Yes.
testicles, yes.
Yes. Do you roast those or actually smoke those in your smoker?
No, ma'am.
Next slide, please. Sorry if I'm being too loud. So, I love this little image here, right? Go, go, gadget, go, Inspector Gadget. But it's true. He was someone that was out and about. He was on the go all the time and he needed all of his little gadgets to be successful. Well, that proves to be the same for CHWs. Mobility is a necessity in the job that we're doing, most generally always. Why do we need a go bag? Right? Items for the go bag and go gadget go Do we need a bunch of gadgets, or do we need specific things that are intentional to help keep our work intentional? Next slide, please. So for mobilization, we do a lot of outreach, right? Home visits, networking, meetings, health fairs, and also mobile clinics. I even find that during mobile mammograms, mobile dentists, mobile clinics, mobile vaccination clinics and such, CHWs oftentimes, when I visited them during those mobile clinics, they often find, or at the beginning when they first start, realize that they don't have all the things, especially if they ride the bus to the location. They don't have the necessary items that they absolutely need to be able to, thrive and not lose momentum throughout a long day. And I think probably Sheila is going to be the biggest expert in this arena just because she's doing it weekly, sometimes multiple times a week. So if you have any follow-up questions, I'll have you turn to Sheila. Next slide, please. So why do we actually need a go bag? CHWs, as I stated, are often meeting people where they're at and work outside of the actual brick and mortar. And this is done quite regularly for a lot of CHWs, and it's becoming more widely part of their scope of practice. So for them to do their jobs effectively, they have to have items so they can complete tasks efficiently. So I'd like you to put a couple of your answers in the chat. What are those items if you utilize to-go items or go gadget items? And do you have a go bag? And what is actually in it? A notebook and a pen. Sheila, are there any specific items that you use regularly? Change of clothes, pen, flyers, business cards. Sanitizer, face mask nowadays. I have shoe covers in mine when I'm out into the. Yeah, some swag. That's always important, right? Especially if you hit a health fair or people approach you, you want to be ready with flyers and other information. I know that, like I said, I use shoe covers. So if I go to a home or somewhere, I don't want to take my shoes off, but I don't want to be disrespectful. Um, I know that this might sound a little bit odd to some, but I also have one of those head coverings just to be safe when I'm in the doing home visiting. I make sure that I also have a charging cord because I want to make sure that my phone is always able to be charged. And I know that in a lot of rural areas, your phone goes on roaming, or I know that if you have to use your GPS, your phone battery depletes quite quickly. So it's very important to have those things. Nowadays, you can get them very reasonable at even like Five Below for $5. I've got one and actually it's lasted me for over a year, and it's one of those little flat packs that you charge up. You take it with you in your car, lay your phone on it, keeps it charged. So if you're going into a home and you don't have electricity or whatever, or you forget your charging cord, just have that block right there in your car. Next slide, please. So Alizar, tell me about the chair. You take you take your own folding chair?
I haven't done this for a while, but when I first started doing home visits, I was bringing a chair with me. And it was funny, actually the very first home visit that I went out on, the guy didn't have anywhere for me to sit. He had a little twin bed and he had a little folding camp chair, and he was sitting on the camp chair. I didn't want to sit on the bed. So I used my little folding chair. I'm going to throw a chair in the back of my truck. Since I have a cover on it now, and just leave that in there. Ellie and I have done a couple of home visits recently, and at one in particular, the fellow offered, a place for us to sit, but we definitely did not want to sit on his furniture. It was not looking healthy and clean. So good idea to have a chair if you don't know, what you're getting into as far as the client's place.
Um, from a female perspective or an individual perspective, I guess if you've got long hair, male or female, or a hair tie, something to pull your hair up, because a lot of times long hair can get into, um, certain things if you bend over and things. So you want to have a hair tie and items that can pull your hair up and prevent any, or even to prevent somebody from actually like pulling your hair, those types of things. So if we talk about items, in addition to what we've already talked about, I recommend the bag being a rolly bag. There's nothing in that bag that you can't give up if you have to, if you're in a position where you need to be. So make sure the bag is rolly so you have your hands, you can easily get your hands free. Um, I know that if a female's like hanging onto a bag like this, or or has like it's a lot of extra weight, things like that, or a backpack if you feel comfortable with the backpack. But I like the rolly bag for a lot of reasons. I mentioned a charger. We talked about, I always put sticky notes or stickies and paper. I like to also have cat litter um, in my go bag, which I don't put it in my go bag, but I have like a to go tote in the back of my vehicle for the winter months. And I have an extra blanket, extra clothes. I do cat litter as well as like a flashlight, and I also have flares. So if I'm in a rural community and I get stuck with some ice, I know I can put cat litter under my tire and easily get away, or have less likely of the chance of getting stuck. And some of these are just safety features for anyone, um, you know, at any time to use them, especially if you live in a community where it's cold. But again, these are just some things that I think a lot of people don't think about, and it's important to have them because you never know when you're going to need them. Yeah, the thing is it doesn't take up too much time to put it in a covered tote or in a small tote and just have it there all the time. Sometimes it's a pain to kind of move it around, but and I to piggyback a little bit off of Alizar's, I know that on Amazon they even have these little chairs that you can get that when you fold it open, a little desk kind of slides up to the side. And some people I know, there were a few CHWs who their company, their organization ordered those and supplied them for all of their CHWs. So when they're in the community doing outreach, doing home visiting, all of those things, they have that so that way they can be easily wiped down. They don't have to worry about having only a soft surface or not a surface at all to sit on while they're, sometimes home visits can be an hour if it's the first time meeting and you're doing an intake. So it really just depends. Um, all right, next slide, please. So these are some of the reasons that we see CHWs really going mobile, especially now with COVID and stuff being lifted. Um, it's really to help reduce that social isolation. We're realizing that a lot of our rural folks, especially, are still kind of scared to get out, especially of our elderly population. Um, and we just have a lot of folks that are really that are just still socially isolated. We some oftentimes we have to mobilize the resources. I talked to a group of CHWs not too long ago, and they were really shocked that how much mobilization they had to start doing, like in the back of their car, or the company van or whatever, mobilizing groceries and other things to people. Obviously, we oftentimes have to meet clients where they're feeling safe, so it's probably at a library or in their own community, and of course, to visit those rural populations to bring awareness of our programs, resources that are out there, and the availability thereof. And then, of course, to attend health clinics and mobilize those types of things as well. Next slide, please. So I want you to brainstorm items that you think that you need to be effectively mobile. It's really important because I know that we all have an idea, and I see here we have from Anne, my bag includes pens, papers, consent forms, documents, forms, paper copies. Those are super important. A lot of us think, oh, those are all online, right? But what happens if you get out there and then there's no internet? Asthma notebooks, asthma action plan, etc. Stickers for kids, brochures, chargers, cords, hand sanitizer. If going out of town, start bringing a change of clothes. Always water, coffee, tea, and cooler because not always have food in rural areas, and Avon Skin So Soft for Fleas. See, that's a good one. Avon Skin So Soft for Fleas. I would have never known that trick. I usually just have duct tape and tape my pant legs shut and then change my socks and shoes and, pants, or use a lint. Always have a big lint roller with me to lint roll. Um, I put all the stuff in my car. I keep it there year round. I spray my pants after I leave the home. What do you spray them with, Anne? Would you share that with the group? Skin So Soft. I see. So Skin So Soft apparently is, and I think it's worth getting those.
The fleas hate it. They will jump right off of you when you spray it.
And is it just like the standard like original scent, or
Well, I think any of them will do, and I can't really use it before I go into the homes because I work with people with asthma. So when I leave the home, if I'm feeling, because I'll get really itchy, and if I'm feeling any problems at all, I just spray below my knees on my pants legs, and that's it. I never have any more problems with it. And I keep it in my glove compartment in my car for that reason. I don't want to smell it, but when I need it, I need it.
well, I think that's super important because those tips really help. And one of the things that um, I should have mentioned in the meeting as well is state troopers, state policemen. And I don't know if it's every state, but I know that it's in several states or every state that I've asked or inquired about. But state police will come into your organization and do like a safety checklist as well, and they have like what's called a safety liaison. So they'll come in and then they'll even give you things that you can use, like if you're going into a specific situation and if your organization allows, do we need pepper spray? Do you need dog treats to toss out into the yard? Or how do we look at the environment and what kind of things might we need to um, approach a dwelling and even go into the environment. um, One of the things that I got in one of my I got a kind of a go kit that I ordered for public health work, and I got a little one of the things that came in it was the charging block. I didn't get the charger, but the charging block, because how oftentimes do we have where we have to take the charging cord from the car, which is a USB, and maybe we're going in somewhere where it's electricity. I can have the extra charging block. I think that was a good idea. Um, so yeah, so homework or whatever you want to say or however you want to consider. I would definitely brainstorm the items that you need to be mobile. What does that look like for you to be effective with the job that you're doing, but also promote safety for yourself as well as your coworkers, and also just have that go plan. Have that go plan ready. So when you're out in the community, others know where you're located, they know where you're going, how long the appointments are supposed to be, and just what does that look like so you can, again, be safe while you're in the environment and as you're on the go and mobile as a CHW. And that's all that I have for today. Rebecca, do you have anything else for the group?
I don't believe that I do. We covered the conference information. I did want to bring up, I know I have spoken to some of the members about different ideas for next year's learning collaboratives. And some of them said that maybe it would be neat if some of our members who wanted to present those learning collaboratives, if maybe we tied in the I'm a CHW story. So maybe you start out by telling and showing your story and then going into what passion you have, what drives you, what you're certified in, what you want a topic that everybody wants to know that you're able to educate on. I
Would
thought
you
that was kind of a cool idea because it makes you a person. It explains why you're a CHW, how you got there, and then why you choose to educate on on the topic that you chose for that.
And will you bring up the I am a CHW so folks that are on today, I believe Alex and a couple of others that names that I haven't seen, just kind of give a little bit of a synopsis again of what that campaign looks like and how they can get involved?
Yeah, give me just a second. I will stop sharing this for a minute and I will share that on the other screen.
Yeah, I appreciate that because I think that's important. Because really we need to bring awareness and cohesion, and we're really trying to move the workforce forward. And although we've gotten wonderful feedback and turnout with the I Am a CHW campaign, we still have so many more that we want to recognize and bring their hard work to the forefront.
Okay, so when you come to rchwn.org, you go to the I am a CHW, and it gives you the introduction to the campaign. It gives you the download of the toolkit. It also gives you the templates that can be used. There's ones that take there's the short form template that is giving like a quote or something, a snippet of who you are. There's a larger that you can add more details in about your story. The templates are available here. Like we do CHW ally templates as well as CHW templates. If you need assistance, you can complete a form and ask for assistance. But honestly, if you need assistance with it, you can reach out to me at Rebecca@rchwn.org. I'm more than happy to help you go through and build the template. This is kind of a snippet of what the templates can look like. We ask that you don't take off any of the set logoing. I can actually bring you to one and show you how you build it. It's super easy. If you are a member of Canva, it will already let you in. If you're not, you have to create a username and password, but that is something that is free to you. It doesn't charge you to use it. So I guess I can kind of do something here. Like it says, I don't know.
Advocate.
And you can put your whole name here. You can put your first name here. If you're not comfortable putting your city, you can do just your state if you choose. To add the picture, when you do something like this from your phone, you can actually take a picture of yourself. Or if you have a webcam on your computer, you could take a picture of yourself and just upload an image of yourself. I don't even know if I have a picture of myself on the computer. For now, I guess I'll be my niece. That's fine. So you center it over, and then over here, you can type in your short quote here, or that shows the world what you do as a CHW. Once you're done, you will come up to where the corner says share, and you can mark share to Facebook. In this little tidbit, you will type out your name, something about yourself if you want. You can put in that you're a member of RCHWN. You can put in that you're from another state. You can put in your employer. I mean, you can write anything you want in there. This is my story. This is how I advocate. We ask that you make sure to, oh, I love it when my computer does what it wants.
I love that there's an ally option. I didn't realize that. I love that there's an option for those that are really um, pushing for the cohesion and the workforce development and all the things. I enjoy that you guys, or that you guys, I guess that's the correct statement, have done that option as an app for allies as well.
And we just ask that you use these hashtags. You can actually cut and paste them right from over here and plug them in here. And then you hit publish now, and it'll put it on your social media. And when I go in and look, I can put in hashtag I'm a CHW, and it'll pull up anybody and everybody who's ever shared this template or ever used that hashtag. So it's super easy, actually.
So Alizar, I think that you should go on. Have you done your IMA campaign yet, Alizar? I
I
don't think I've,
don't think, I didn't share it. I did one at one point during one of our get-togethers, virtual get-togethers, but I don't believe I ever shared it to Facebook.
yeah, because I put the actual link in the chat, but I do like the fact that you put I am a preventer of pistivity. I think that's great, right?
I don't think I'll put that on Facebook.
Well, maybe not, but for our, our own. Yeah, Katie. So Sheila says ideas for next year, substance abuse and MAT treatments like Vivitrol, Suboxone, and Sublocade and Subutex. Sheila, would you expand on that just a little? And tell us, are you able to do that, or do you have people that you could refer over to us?
I could discuss that and also have you people, if you need like physicians or something like that. But like, Vivitrol is a injection that stops the cravings of alcohol and opioid abuse. So they don't use, and it's a once a month injection. Same with Sublocade is a once a month injection, but that is like Suboxone. It's like an injectable Suboxone.
Okay.
So they only get that once a month. I like that better than the Suboxone because people can't sell their strips and stuff like that. They can't take too
Oh,
many.
that's a good idea.
And Subutex is for like pregnant women. So they can, even if you're pregnant, you can still get a MAT treatment that is less harmful to the baby than when you're using.
Oh, okay. That's really good for a mother infant safety
Mhm.
training. That might be a good one as well. I mean, you could, because that's some of us work with those maternal infant health programs. So that's a really good one for those programs and those CHWs that are working a lot with those families or those moms. We got one for first responder for mental health training. I mean, we could check that out. I know that, for instance, like a mental health first aid type training is a longer than a 1 hour professional development type webinar. But yeah, we could definitely look at something like that as well. What's
So
BH?
I was trying to type it in and it's just too much. It's a behavioral health urgent care. It's through GHS, Genesee Health Systems, which is like our community mental health. And they are partnered up. They got their own little thing in our parking lot. They got another separate building to where they help people 24/7. That's in behavioral health crises. They can walk in up until like 10:30 at night, Monday through Friday, and pretty soon they're going to be starting weekends, but they're affiliated with Hurley Hospital, so they fast track that process. So our people that are in crisis are not sitting over there at Hurley waiting for 13 to 18 hours to get assistance. They have a
Yeah.
psychiatrist on staff and an MP on staff and stuff like that. And they have social workers, because we have like rat cards that we pass out for people to text if they're having a bad day, and there's a licensed professional on the other end of that 24/7.
Ooh, I wish every community had a behavioral health urgent care. I think that is a really great resource. Any other
Emergency
I
departments are for.
Pardon me, Elazar, did you?
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought I was muted. I just
Oh,
said to Allie, well, that's what emergency departments are for, but that was sarcasm.
yeah. We we know Elazar. No. Anybody else with any other questions or
Mary Squire
ideas?
said something about Red Project.
Sounds like it's got information on great speakers, so that might be something to put in your
Red Project is where they help with harm reduction services and stuff like that. They do the Narcan training and stuff.
And syringe services typically.
So Alizar, is there a topic that you think would be great for 2023, and would you maybe be willing to be a speaker?
I might be willing to be a speaker. I can't think of any topics off the top of my head, but I will rack my pea brain about that going forward and try to come up with something.
Awesome. Thank you. Any other questions or comments from anybody that's on the call today? All right, well, get those go bags ready. Make sure that you have them handy, especially for those of us that live in these colder months and colder seasons. Make sure that you have those ready and available, again, to optimize safety and effectiveness with the work that you're doing in the community. Amber, you lit up. Do you have a comment or question?
No,
You don't
Since we
even
are
want to
at
say
the
hi?
end, I'm gonna shut off the camera, you guys. I know we have some time left, but if you guys want to talk candidly and all that, I am going to shut off the recording now.